Everybody, what's going on? This is the Hurry Up. I'm your boy Adam. It's game week. Get up, get up, get up. It's game week, baby. This is the week that we put it all on the line. The march to greatness begins on Sunday. The season opens on Thursday with the Cowboys. We get to see our competition. Both teams the Giants play this year get to see the competition for itself on opening day. Now, it's going to change by the time we face those teams, but you'll get a good look at how Dak is looking, what that Tampa Bay defense is doing, because I'm telling you, they retools and they're going to be good. They are going to be good. I think we were forgetting about them. I think we're just like, Super Bowl, I don't expect it to be a repeat of Kansas City and Tampa Bay, but I do expect Tampa Bay to be one of the Final Four there. I think I could see Tampa Bay going back. I don't know if KC is going to go back. We'll see. But we'll get into that a little later on. Right now, we're talking about opening day, opening weekend, getting live, getting excited, getting fired up, and finding out some of these storylines. And we're going to cash in on a lot of receipts, people. We are going to cash in on receipts. So hopefully you predicted right, because those things is on video. Everyone's gonna call you out. So just know. And for me, the Giants have a solid opponent coming up on Sunday. The Denver Broncos. Yes, the Denver Broncos haven't been good, and maybe they should have taken a quarterback in their last year's draft when they had a chance to take Justin Fields. They decided to take Patrick Surtain to enhance that already pretty good defense with Kyle Fuller back there and Justin Simmons. Now you add Patrick Surtain. That's a pretty decent trio of DBs back there to kind of cover up and mask whatever else you got going on, right? Then you got the linebacker level, got some decent linebackers, and then you got the two edge rushers, the guys who I think are game wreckers, havoc makers is like what I call them, havoc makers, especially when you have Von Miller, who is poised for a big season. He missed last year because of an injury. He was coming back. He was going to show the world that he was still Von Miller, and I think he's going to be jacked through the roof. And the thing that I worry about with the Giants is if it's a close game in the fourth quarter and the tackles have one of their mental lapses, because that's going to happen. Daniel Jones is going to be sacked. It's just a matter of how many times in the game is going to be sacked and how impactful sacks will be, right? Quarterbacks get sacks. Not all of them are going to remain clean. If the Giants give up 3 sacks, okay, let's just make them not. Let's make them 3 sacks. But the Giants give up sacks, and then it's that one critical error, right? That one sack fumble that costs the Giants the football game, and that's what I'm hoping Daniel Jones can avoid. Interceptions just don't cost us points in the red zone, right? If you're doing a deep pass down the field and the guy intercepts it at like the 10-yard line or something like that, hopefully you can tackle that person real quick so you're not worried about a huge return. But it's when you get them down in the red zone or you give up a pick six where you're giving up points on the other end, that's when the turnover becomes even more costly than it already is. So that's what I'm hoping the Giants can avoid, because that defense is going to be swarming. If there's a strength on this Denver team, it's their defense going up against what we Giant fans believe, arguably our weakness, and that's offense. They got a lot more question marks, a lot more things that are that need to be gelling for them to work. Defensively, on the other hand, our defense, the Giants' defense, is going up against their weakness in the offense. Now, it would be even weaker if they had Drew Lock, but they don't. They're starting Teddy Bridgewater, who, mind you, had 76% passing last year. I know it's from Carolina. These are dumb passes. It doesn't matter. It was 70%. You can look at it however you want. He completed a high percentage of passes. And if they're going to do that, because I think they're going to pound the rock a lot. I think they're going to give it to Melvin Gordon and try to break down this Giants defense, even if it's 3 yards in a cloud of dust. They're going to make it. They're going to make it third manageable for Teddy Bridgewater, so the entire playbook is opened up. That is going to be their game plan. The Giants need to stop the run and make Teddy Bridgewater beat them with his arm and beat them downfield. If they can do that, defensively they'll have a win. Again, remember we talked about the Giants need to have more turnovers this year. More turnovers is critical, because the more opportunities at bat, as they say, you get, the better opportunities you have to score and make a big play or have their guy break down. Remember, it's 2 or 3 plays in these close games that change the football game, right? one fumble here, one interception here, one goal line stand here, and then the whole game has changed. So the Giants defense needs to step up big this week. It's game week. I can't believe it's finally here. We've made it. You can see the excitement on my face. I will be there. Hopefully you guys got a good spread. Make sure you're getting something good. Make sure you're hydrated. Make sure you're having a good time because it's going to be a roller coaster ride. Giant games are. There's never really been too many. Well, the 41-0 game was one of the only blowouts I remember in recent Giant history where the Giants were just wall to wall dominating the team. So enjoy it. Hopefully you don't have to be biting your nails. Hopefully the Giants can put this team away because week 2 is the season. That to me is the season. That is the season. You want to beat Washington. I know people tell me all the time, well, the Giants beat Washington. Da, 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 da. I don't care. It's a new season. Washington Redskins are going in with their heads held high, knowing they're the NFC East champs, and right now the division goes through them. So why wouldn't they be happy? And week 2, if the Giants, I don't even want to say it, but if the Giants somehow slip on Sunday by overlooking Denver because they're looking at Washington, they better win that game. There's no dropping the game. The Giants, I don't want to hear about this. Oh, it's how you, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. No. Tired of that. Tired of everybody telling me that. You know what? Who tells you that? Losing teams. You know why? Because winning teams start fast and finish fast. Okay? Tampa Bay had a build-up. And the only reason they had a build-up is because they were acclimating new players. After that, they took off. They didn't lose a game. After that 5th loss, they took off and they won 7 straight, and that includes the playoffs. They were 7-5, and they just went boom. They were 7-5, so they were allowed to lose some of those games. The Giants start 0-2, 0-3, 0. They were like 0-5 last year or 0-4 last year before they won their first game. Can't do that and expect to have a winning formula every year. The Giant fans need this team to win the first couple games, or the first 4, end up 2-2 at the very least. If they're 1-3, it's gonna be a tough hole to climb out of. If they're 0-4, tough hole to climb out of. If they're 2-2, let the race begin. They're 3-1, let the race begin. They're 4-0. Who knows what's going to happen after that? I mean, for all we know, they go 4-0 and then lose the remaining 13. I'm not saying that's not necessarily not possible either. But my point is, you start off fast. Then if you have a lull in the season when people have slumps and everything like that, and you're hurt and you're a little nicked up, this is where you can kind of tread water a little bit and then build it back up for the end of the year. Because I believe you start the season, you can't start the season slow. You have to start at least 500 in the first quarter and a half of the year. All right, even the first half of the season. If the Giants are, 4-4 or 5-5 or 5-4 or something like that, with the first 10 games, well, the remaining 7 are going to be a race to the finish, right? What are you going to do? You got to win at least 4 of those games if you're 5-5 to get a really realistic shot at making the playoffs. You can go 9-8. Right? You need to win at least 6 of those games. So you don't want to be in that position. Week 10, the Giants should, hopefully, you want them to be 6-4. That way, down the stretch, when those 7 games come up, you can be at 10-7, right? It's easier to win 4 games than it is 5. It's easier to win 2 games than it is 3, and so on and so forth. So be ready. It's game week. Stop it up, baby. Here we go.